Hey guys, this is Brian, aka Texas Treasures, and today I'm bringing you another deep dive into men's jeans. We are doing the top selling men's jeans over the past year. So these are mostly in 2023. This deep dive, the rankings are based on number of jeans sold. So today I want to go over that data and then look into these jeans and try to figure out some key takeaways and some data that we could use while we're outsourcing, which is the whole point of this. All right. So at number 35, we have Buffalo by David Bitten jeans. These are all men's jeans, by the way. So we're going to look at eBay and Terapeak as we dig deeper into this. What I did is I typed that information in. I made sure I was under the men's category. On the left-hand navigation, I have selected pre-owned, and I have also selected sold. And what that gave me over the past 90 days, we've had 2,277 that have sold. And when we get to Terapeak, I'll give you a little deeper dive on this. So here's the basic information. And I looked on Terapeak over the past year, right? Over the past year, we have 8,745 sold, so a good amount. Currently, we have 6,988 active. I looked under the 90-day sell-through rate on Terapeak, and we're at about 24%. So this is going to be the lowest sell-through rate of any of the men's jeans I've looked at so far. And when we get to the end, when we look at the chart, that'll kind of stand out. In the ASP, average sell price, including shipping on these, is $25.43, which is not a ton of money either. So this is like a bread and butter brand, and there are certain models and styles that do better that we want to get into. All right, so let's talk about now. Here's an interesting thing you can do. Like once you've done that, now you can dig a little bit deeper, right? What let's see. What sizes are going to do best? So if you go on the waist size and you click select all, you will see the waist size with a number sold. So when you do that, you see the best selling waist size is 34. Um, and then followed by 36. You see that? And then 32. And then it looks like 38. So the best selling waist size will be 34. Now, what about the inseam? What about the length? Well, once we plug that in, we can go over here and look at the inseam. Well, what has the best? Right here, this 176. So a 34 by 32 would be the best selling size. A 34 by 30 would also be good. I wouldn't limit it just to those sizes, but if you were extremely cherry picking, that would be best. All right. So now let's look at Terapeak. So same thing. I put in Buffalo, David Biden jeans. Right now we're looking at the last 90 days. We are under men's jeans, and we have selected pre-owned condition. And if you look under 90 days, it'll give you some data. The average sell price of the jeans are $17.72 plus $9.59 shipping, which should, I read this earlier, that should give me that 25 and change total ASP. The sell through rate is 23.89. We're going to round it up to 24%. And if you look at the chart, you can see, if you just look at the chart, you can see between like 14 and 22 is going to be the average sell price of this. Now, if we click right, we can see the volume sold. This is interesting, even though we're in jean season, because jeans do pretty well year round, except they take a dip in the summer. We can see the volume of these is trending down over the past 90 days, right? Well, so I want to look then, let's look at the past year. What is the trend for the past year on this data? Is this brand that is becoming less popular, or is this just a seasonal thing? We can do that if we expand it out over the past year. And sure enough, that downward trend seems to be continuing. Like January of last year, 207 have sold, And yes, there are peaks and valleys, but the general trend is downwards. January 1st, 151 sold. So this brand seems to be a little less popular, would be my takeaway from this data. All right, let's go back to the 90 days where we were primarily working from. So you can see how valuable Terapeak is as a resource. eBay and Terapeak, they both give you valuable information. All right. Let's look at one more thing here. If we keep clicking to the right, they give you the distribution of listing prices, and we're undersold, so these would actually be sold. So if you're wanting to sell these the fastest, this price bucket of basically between $11 and $21 would get you has the most sold. So it makes sense if you want a fast flip, price it here. If you want to wait a little bit longer, and depending on the model and the style, between 21 to 31, it seems like, you could price it there. And if you wanted to move it super fast, and this is where a lot of auctions are, a 99-cent auction up to 11. But I wouldn't recommend that unless you were just trying to liquidate your inventory. Probably one of these two is where I would price it at. All right, so we've looked at that data. Now let's look at the jeans themselves. Let's sort these by most recently sold. So you can see on January 9th, which is today, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We already have 5 sold today. And what I'd like to do is to go to the highest priced sold items, and let's see what we can figure out, because we want the best items, right? Okay, those are women's. Did we lose our search? Yep, sure enough, it took it. So those are pulling in women's. This is also a women's brand, but right now we're looking at men's only. So let's reset our search criteria. Men's pre-owned jeans. We are sorted by highest price. So the highest selling over the past 90 days of this brand went for $57.99 plus 10 shipping. So what I like to do is kind of look at these and see if I can figure out some trends. Let's look at this very first one since it was the highest. In the title, they say, okay, these are King Slim Boot. So if we look here, King. Now, I'm assuming the King is the model name of this. The fit is slim boot cut, and we can see the waist on this is 36. Okay, nothing really that special to me is popping out. But let's go back. We're looking for trends. Okay, here's a 6'6". Now this is going to be, yep. See, this is going to be the model name, 6'6". Now look at the size. Some people would pass these up. I do pick these up. They take longer to sell. But guess what? If you're a size 54-inch waist, you're probably going to be limited on where you can buy your jeans at. So having them on eBay would be a good thing. On the downside, there's fewer customers looking for this, so it's probably going to take longer. But this 6'6" slim straight stretch, okay, like a dark wash with some fading on them. But we're looking for trends. Evan, okay. I say okay too much, huh? All right. So these are Evans super slim, waist size 31, length 30. There's another 6'6". So there's two 6'6s out of the top 4. So automatically, I would probably, in my brain or where I keep these notes, I would be on the lookout for a 6'6". Look, they only have 4 photos. They don't even show the size tag or anything. Not a very good listing, but it's still sold. So 6'6" would be a model I'm looking for. We're not going to look at the lots. There's a Sam X that sold for $41.99 plus shipping. And this is how I do a deep dive. We're just kind of looking into this, gathering data, making notes, which will make our sourcing faster and better. Look, Sam X slim straight. So it seems like a lot of these are slim straight. as slim as far as the fit, straight as far as the leg style. That one doesn't have the model name. There's another Evan, right? Look at this, Evan, Ash, driven, Ash. So Evan seems to be kind of dominating this area. So let's take a look at a couple of these Evan models. 36 by 34, they put the fit because the measurement varies a little bit. He's probably shrunk a little bit. That's a good thing to do. I do that as well in the description and in the title. So Evan X Slim Straight Stretch. So this style looks like it's very popular, this Evan. There's another Evan. Just a different watch. And look, these are distressed. We have some patches on here. Once again, the Evan Slim Straight. So some people would pass on this, but even being distressed, and let's see what kind of patches we got here. Oh, it's got the Buffalo David Bitten patch. Bitten. Okay. So those still sold for pretty good money. Here's rougher. There's another Evan. So if I was sourcing, I already know I'm looking for 6'6". I'm looking for Evan. And if you're not 100% sure, it only takes a second to pull out your phone. That's not loading. To pull out your phone and do a quick search. Like I put Buffalo David Bitten, and then Bitten. Keep saying Biden. We're not talking about the president. And put that model name in there. See, Ash. I've seen a couple of these Ashes. There's another Evan. So it seems like King, Evan, 6'6", Ash. All of these are good models that are selling for good money. And the Slim Stretch seems to be the style that's popular. There's 2 pairs. Max X, 6'6", rougher. I've seen a couple of these ruffers. Let's take a look at that. That patch looks a little different than the other one. Rougher, 32 by 30. That's a good size. Yeah, and these look like straight leg. There's another King X. So the reason we do this, once again, is to figure out what we should be sourcing. So, all right. So now let's go to our takeaway chart, right? So we're ranking these number 35 based on volume. Buffalo David Bitten. Over the past year, 8,745 have sold. And by the way, if you're finding this content valuable, if this is helping you in your sourcing, please hit the like button. Consider subscribing for more eBay content that's going to help you as a reseller. And you can also hit that bell to be notified when new videos are posted. The number active currently is 6,988. So way more active compared to the ones we've looked at before. Also more have sold. But that ratio, the sell-through, this is our lowest sell-through rate. Only 24%. Our second lowest that we've covered so far is Eddie Bauer at 28%. So these are going to take a little bit longer to sell. We could look at the sell-through rate specifically on the Evans and the Ash and the 6'6". I bet you they're going to be a higher sell-through rate because those are more in demand. And lastly, what are our takeaways? My takeaways would be models are important. Look for King, Evan, 6'6", Ash, and look up others as found. That would be my takeaway. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. Come back tomorrow. We should have number 34 up, and we will see you on the next video.